Okay, welcome to Night Ride. This is the third poem that we are looking at in this series, in which we're looking at the themes of kind of time, death, water, the experience and struggle of coping with your own mortality that Slessor experiences. So let's move through the Night Ride. I think we can think of Night Ride as this kind of journey towards death, but one that is difficult for us to really understand, as in we don't understand where we're going and what's going to happen to us. And so some of the imagery in the poem represents that. Let's try and expand that a little bit. So we've got some of this imagery of gas flaring on the yellow platform, voices running up and down. You've got this sense of chaos, of people getting on board. They're on the train, but they don't really know where they're going. Milk tins in cold dented silver. And a lot of the imagery you can see highlighted in about light in green. So you've got black, which is the absence of light, gaslight, grey, and then the repetition of gaslight, milk. And it's this sense that we cannot see a bright, brilliant, true light. We don't have the joy of existence because we are too caught up with other things. It compromises our existence. Instead, we are in kind of this half awake, drugged, blind, asleep, yawning, clumsy, blind, sleep, trying to actually perceive our existence and see it for what it is, but we don't. And we're in this kind of semi-unconscious way, perhaps, of experiencing this journey. Meanwhile, we're looking through the windows, we're trying to see around us, but we're kind of unable to do that. We're groping clumsily to mysterious ends. We're dragged by private fates and we're kind of pulled in different directions. Meanwhile, the whole time we're on this train, this dark train, which represents death and plunges. Bells cry out, the night ride starts again. Soon I shall look into nothing but blackness. The old roar and knock of the rails. Again, you've got this personification of this kind of this journey to death. When I say personification, I mean actually it's not making it seem human, because it's making it seem dehumanizing. It's a mechanical, sort of cold, machine-like, automated process of life and death. So we move through the poem. If we look back, black, sinister travellers lumbering up the station. So at one moment in the window, hooked over bags. So this sense of that we're just on a journey that is a very temporary thing. We stop temporarily at the station and we're half asleep, and then basically we just go on into this nothingness and pull down the blind, sleep, and we kind of enter this state of grey nothingness. I recall nothing else, and I think it's quite a bleak poem. Just before we finish this poem, I just wanted to say something about the sounds of it and the language, because we hadn't really talked that much about the rhythm. Glass flaring on the yellow platform, voices running up and down. Milk tins in cold dented silver, half awake I stare. Perhaps I could just say that it's this fairly irregular, convoluted sort of a rhythm. Perhaps you could say that it sounds like a train's engine moving, one moment in the window, hooked over bags, hurrying unknown faces, boxed with strange labels. It almost sounds like an engine that's constantly going, or groping clumsily to mysterious ends out of the gaslight dragged by private fates. There's a noticeable lack of rhyming, a lack of regularity, a lack of structure, and that's in a poet that is renowned for using rhyming structure and could clearly do that if he wanted to. It's inconsistency, black, sinister travellers lumbering up the station. The use of commas is quite marked. You've got this, still got a character. Soon I shall look out into nothing. So you've still got this kind of speaker's presence. Pale, windy fields, full stop. The old roar and knock of the rails melts in dull fury. Pull down the blind. Sleep, sleep. But there's perhaps an appeal. Sleep, sleep, nothing but grey. It's more like a frantic sort of clutching for comfort, which doesn't really find it.